On August 12, 2010, the American Journal of Cardiology published a study led by Dr. Darrell Francis, which declared that statin drugs should be handed out to fast food customers for free, much like ketchup packets, because the statin drugs would theoretically protect people from the negative health effects of eating hamburgers and drinking milkshakes. This announcement was not a prank. In his published paper, Dr. Francis stated, quote, "Fast food outlets could provide statin drugs free of charge," unquote. He then goes on to describe statin drugs as supplements and compares them to seat belts worn by car passengers. Dr. Francis is no quack. He's a top researcher at Imperial College London, which went out of its way to highlight the research of Dr. Francis in a top-positioned press release on its website entitled, quote, "Free statins with fast food could neutralize heart risk." The subhead for the release goes on to say, quote, "Imperial researchers suggest that cholesterol-lowering drugs could be provided alongside ketchup and salt." The message from Dr. Francis and many conventional doctors who share his belief is that pharmaceuticals are so safe they should be handed out like candy in Happy Meals and fast food menu items, so that they are widely consumed by children, adults, and senior citizens without a prescription, without a medical diagnosis, and without any consideration for statin drug interactions with other medications people might be taking. But statin drugs have a track record of extreme danger to many users. Some of the side effects caused by statin drugs include kidney damage, liver damage, extreme muscle weakness, erectile dysfunction, constipation, and chronic deficiency in CoQ10, a vital nutrient for heart health. Mainstream medical researchers largely ignore these risks and attempt to position these dangerous chemical medications as supplements, almost as if they were nutrients or vitamins to be widely consumed by the public at every meal. Dr. Francis thinks prescription drugs should be available at the counter of fast food restaurants alongside packets of ketchup and mayonnaise, saying, quote, "It's ironic that people are free to take as many unhealthy condiments in fast food outlets as they like, but statins, which are beneficial to heart health, have to be prescribed." In recommending this, Dr. Francis is essentially proposing that fast food chains should function as pharmacies, dosing the population with potentially dangerous chemical medications without a medical diagnosis or the oversight of a physician or any consideration of the health status of the consumer. The idea seems to be that drug companies should start integrating their products with mainstream food items. If this effort were expanded and followed, it could lead to restaurants like McDonald's putting psychiatric drugs in Happy Meals for children, or offering blood pressure drugs as free condiments for its high-sodium breakfast menu items. It could even result in fast food restaurants partnering with drug companies to blend medication chemicals right into their food products. The Farmaburger could become a reality. It combines a high-sodium, high-fat burger made from hormone-injected factory-farmed cows with a statin drug, a blood pressure drug, a diabetes drug, and a psychiatric medication, all topped off with lettuce, tomato, pickles, and a sesame seed bun. By blending pharmaceuticals into our food, the drug industry would effectively turn fast food chains into pharmacies, resulting in a massive expansion of pharmaceutical consumption, along with the devastating health effects on both the population and the planet. Hot dog manufacturers might start blending chemotherapy chemicals into their products. Seasonal eggnog drinks could be laced with influenza vaccines to, quote, "protect you from winter colds and flu." Soda companies could add a few drops of liver-damaging diabetes drugs to their sodas and market them as safe for diabetics. Combining mainstream food products with Big Pharma's patented chemicals and then backing it with fraudulent health claims of how these chemicals make your food safer would only achieve the mass chemical contamination of a population already overexposed to synthetic chemicals. And the impact on the environment could be devastating. That's because drugs taken by consumers often pass through their bodies and end up in the water supply, where they contaminate waterways and aquatic ecosystems to the point that frogs and fish are now developing severe mutations, such as dual sets of sex organs. Dr. Francis did not take into account the environmental impact of his advice that fast food restaurants should function as free pharmaceutical outlets. The wider impact of this, if implemented, would be the mass chemical contamination of first world nations, even beyond the damage that's currently being done from the prescription use of medications. So why would a mainstream medical researcher suggest that fast food chains hand out pharmaceuticals even when those medications would inevitably harm people and contaminate the environment? Because it's part of the not-so-secret agenda of conventional medicine to push patented chemical medications onto the entire population, whether people need those drugs or not. This effort, backed by the pharmaceutical industry, is seeking to bypass doctors and the prescription process entirely, feeding dangerous chemical medications directly to the public through vending machines, the water supply, or even everyday foods. Using fast food restaurants as pharmaceutical distribution points is just one of the many bizarre ideas from an industry that seeks to position its drugs as nutrients, even while discrediting the real nutrients your body actually needs. The end game for Big Pharma is to push this agenda to the point where people are convinced they need to eat pharmaceuticals like vitamins, as if they were somehow deficient in statin drugs, or deficient in blood pressure drugs, or even deficient in chemotherapy chemicals. Once that lie is firmly established in the minds of the public, Big Pharma will have achieved its ultimate goal, creating the world's largest market of drugs for people who don't even need them. Treating only sick people with medicine is a limited market, but treating everyone who visits a fast food restaurant, well, that market is many times larger and many times more profitable. If Big Pharma gets its way, Farmaburger may yet become a reality. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, the editor of naturalnews.com and the co-founder of the video site naturalnews.tv. Watch those websites for more information about the dangers of pharmaceuticals and the hidden agenda of the pharmaceutical industry. Thanks for watching.